everyone, welcome to today's video. Please excuse my attire. I'm like straight chilling today. I have a big test for a class that I'm taking in like 2 hours, but I really wanted to get a video up because it had already been like 2 weeks. I've just been really swamped and I'm a little bit lazy, so, but I have tons and tons of videos that I want to get up for you guys, so here is one of them. First off, thank you for your amazing response to my YouTube channel. I did not think it was gonna kind of blow up this quickly. I have, I think, like 600 something subscribers, almost 600, I don't know, it's a lot, and tons of comments, which is awesome. That was the exact point in making this channel. I really just wanted to reach out to the people and help you guys out. So this video is kind of going to be a Q&A. There's questions that I see I get repeatedly. I get them a lot and I just want to answer them on camera so people don't have to keep asking and I don't have to keep answering, and there's just lots of questions and I thought it'd be fun to kind of answer them on camera. So stay tuned. Okay, so a few questions that I get a lot is, how old am I? How old was I when I enlisted? Am I active duty? Do I plan on staying in? So the answers are, I was 19 when I enlisted. I am 22 right now. I turn 23 tomorrow. The day after tomorrow, so Friday. Yeah, I'll be 23. I am active duty. I'm stationed at Scott. And I'm material management. And what was the last question? Oh, do I plan on staying in? I have no idea. I go back and forth a lot. The military is a very difficult career field. I feel like you kind of have to have some thick skin, and I don't really. So I'm working on it, and I'm kind of just taking my time to decide. I have 3 years until my enlistment is up, so I've got quite a bit to figure out. Plus, with our follow-on for my husband's TDY, I have to extend for at least a year, so that's another 4 years. So I go back and forth right now. The answer is yes, but I don't know for sure. I remember just now another question is, did I ever consider going officer? No, that is just not for me. There's nothing against officers. The officer route is perfectly fine if that's what you're into. It's just not for me. My stepfather is an officer and I see everything he has to deal with and I'm just not interested. Okay, moving on. A question I see a lot of girls leave is, how long is too long for your hair if you want to wear it down? And it has to be not touching the collar in uniform, looking straight ahead. It cannot touch the collar in the front, in the back, any way, shape, or form. So you can kind of have it like a bob, like short in the back and long in the front. It just can't touch. So anytime that touches, you have to get it cut. You can have it straight along here. You can have it short. I think it has to be at least 1 inch long or else you're out of regs. But yeah, so just as long as it's not touching the collar. It really sucks to grow out. I used to have really short hair. Like I said in my previous video, I cut it for basic. Growing it out was awful because it was so hard to put up because my hair is kind of frizzy, curly, wavy, and it took like a million bobby pins, a lot of gel, a lot of hairspray. It was a pain in the ass to grow it out, but now it's super easy to put up. So yeah. Oh, a question that I also see a lot from women is asking, what age was the oldest trainee in your flight? And I don't know if you guys know this, but they just released a law, I'm not sure what it's called, but you're allowed to join the military up until the age of 38 or 39, so way higher. It used to be like 28. I should have googled this stuff, I'm sorry. But anyways, they raised it up like 10 years, so we had lots of women that were a little bit older in age, probably like 4 or 5, and they were 35, 38. They were much older in age, well, not much older, you know what I mean, older than everybody else, and it wasn't an issue at all. We didn't think of them as like, oh my God, the older woman in the flight. It was just like our other sister, our other trainee, and yeah, there was no difference between them and the 19-year-olds, except for that they were probably a lot more mature and quieter and complained a lot less. So if you are a little bit older in age and thinking about joining, don't let something like that stop you. It was absolutely not an issue at basic training. The linguist addict, I think it's how you say it, asked, how did you deal with getting your period as a female when you were in basic training? I didn't. Me, along with pretty much everybody else, didn't get your period. You were just so stressed out that you didn't get it. If you did get it, you could have tampons and you would just carry them in your little pocket, and that was that. But 9 out of 10 times, or 9 out of 10 people are not going to get it. So I wouldn't really worry too much about that. Miss Ova asked quite a few questions. So I'm going to reply to most of them through here because they're kind of long. But one thing she said was, I'm sorry, my battery died. I'm using an actual camera now. My husband pulled his out and the battery died. So, okay, like I was saying, Miss Ova, MSOVA, says, can you make a video about the ASVABs? I'm very nervous about it. You can only take it once every 6 months if you don't like your score. Honestly, I don't think I could do a whole video on it. I don't have a lot to say, and I don't think I'd be very helpful. The only tips that I do have is to get the book ASVAB for Dummies. It sounds silly, but it's very, very helpful. I'm the kind of person who likes to read, pages as opposed to online quizzes, and it's like this thick, and it's just everything you need to know about the ASVABs. And also with the taking it every 6 months, definitely be careful, because even if your score is worse, they're gonna take your most recent score. I'm pretty sure. Last time I heard that's what the rule was. So yeah, that's really all that I have on the ASVABs. Just study, because that's, your score for your career. Alex Mercer's Revenge, asked how common is sexual assault against women. Now, I'm not going to answer this here. I'm actually making an entire video on that. I reached out to a senior in our office that was a former NTI, and I asked him just kind of his experience, and he just wrote me back, and wasn't exactly the response I was hoping for, but it's the truth, so I'm going to lay it all out there for you guys and do a whole video on it. I just have to be very careful because it's such a sensitive topic. So stay tuned for that. I really want to put that out there because I've had a lot of girls ask about that, and I don't blame them. Okay, let's see. H. Holmes says, so right after boot camp, you go to tech school. How long is it all together? So you're going to go to boot camp, and that's 9.5 weeks. And right at that half-week part, I think, is when you graduate, and then the other half is when you spend it with your family, and then the last day is when you take the bus to tech school. See my tech school video. And it depends on your job. So if your job training is 2 months, you're going to be at tech school for 2 months. If it's for half a year, you're going to be there for half a year. Everyone is different. So just do the 9.5 weeks plus your time at tech school. It's listed on the airforce.com website. Put that together, and that's how long all of your training is. And right at the end of tech school, you'll go home for a RAP and recruit assistance program. And after that, you'll go to your first duty station. So just look it all up, and you can find out that way. Let's see, Jose Marquez. I'm gonna be really ashamed if I'm saying that wrong. I'll be honest with you, the scariest part is not PT or the gas chamber, is getting yelled at is what I'm scared about, as well as the people and the shower part. Okay, it's not really a question, but a statement, but I'm gonna make a comment about it. Yeah, the PT and the gas chamber sucks, which I'll talk about in a minute, but the getting yelled at and the people and the shower part, it's honestly one of those things that you're in the moment and you just kind of deal with it. The shower part, I actually remember a lot of people were asking about that. It is not a big deal. The first time it happens, you're very scared, and it's happening very quickly, and it's kind of like, what just happened? So you don't really process it all, and then so on and so forth. You're just very rushed. You don't really have time to look around and see what's going on. I do know that some guys in my brother flight, this is awkward, they showered with their underwear. That's just what I heard. So if that makes you feel better, then so be it. I can take a wild guess as to why, but for females, we didn't really do that. We just kind of got in and got out. Honestly, near the end, it was to the point where you were like, so you're ready for graduation? Like, and you really just don't think about it. By the time you're not really rushed and scared, you're used to it. So don't be nervous about the showers at all. It's just a rite of passage, kind of. As far as it getting yelled at, it's the same thing. Everybody gets yelled at. It happens, you know. You're not going to yell back. I've heard people say, like, oh, I can't go to join the military because when the MTIs yell at me, I'm going to yell back. No, you won't. It's very intimidating, and I promise you, you won't yell back. And it's over like that, you know. That's their job, is to yell at you and break you down. So don't be worried, you know. Again, a rite of passage. It just happens to everybody. And as far as the people, yes, they're gonna probably get on your nerves, but you're there for you. Just remember that. It's not about anybody else but yourself. You don't really have to get along with everybody. You should try to, but you don't really have to get along with everybody. So just focus on yourself. Showers happen quickly, and you're gonna get yelled at. Just accept it. I'm sorry that wasn't good advice, but that's just what I have to say. And I did remember that somebody did ask about the gas chamber. Yes, it's a very, like, I don't know, I thought it was a very, like, proud moment because everyone's really done it. It's like the obstacle course. There was one obstacle that has been there since the beginning of the Air Force obstacle course, which means that my grandfather had gone over it because he was in the Air Force, and it was very, when I went on it. So, the gas chamber is just like that. It's just something you get done and you do. It burns pretty bad, and you got snot rolling on your nose and tears in your eyes, and you're like, oh God. But like 5 minutes or less later, it's like it never happened, and then you get to tell everyone you were tear gassed. So it's not too bad. H. Holmes asked, any swimming? I'm terrible and really nervous about that. Nope, no swimming. Our brother flight got to go to the pool and go swimming, but they were like a special forces flight. There were a lot of like PJs and TACP, I'm forgetting all of them, but they were like the badasses. So they were the only ones that swam. So unless you're going to that career field, don't even worry about it. Also, someone had asked about heights. There is some spots at basic training where you do have to go up really high for the obstacle course and go down really low, but there was one time I remember actually, my friend Paz, hey girl, we were on the obstacle course and you had to go down this like thing, and it was pretty high up, and she got really scared, but all of us just kind of like band together. The MTIs were yelling at us like crazy, but we were like, come on, you can do this, girl, you can do this, we got your back, you got this. And the MTIs were like, hurry up. But we supported her, and she did it, and she felt really proud of herself. So just know that your people are there to support you if you're scared, and it's gonna be okay. Somebody else asked, quick question, is it hard to get into the Air Force academic-wise? I refer back to my previous answer. Get ASVAB for Dummies. That really helps you with your score, and then as long as you pass that and you go through tech school, I mean, it's not too bad. It is one of the, like, oh God, don't kill me in the comments, but it's one of the, like, smarter branches. So they say, so, I mean, you can't be, like, just have common sense and everything, and just be good at studying, and you'll be fine. Oh God, please don't murder me in the comments, everyone who was in the Marines. I see all of you, by the way, commenting that the Marines are the hardest branch and the Air Force boot camp is such a joke now. Listen, I'm just trying to help people going through it now. I realize the Marines is more badass in some aspects, but what can I do about that? Okay, so I think that is all that I'm going to answer. I think I've answered all the other ones already, and those are all the really common questions. So yeah, I try really hard every Saturday or Sunday to go through and answer all of them, because these are very personal questions, I guess. So I want them to get answered. I did make a Twitter account for this specific thing, because it's kind of hard to answer questions through here. When I reply and then they reply, I don't get the notice that you've replied again. So I feel like bad because I'm like cutting you off. So if you want, I'm gonna leave my Twitter in like the comment section. I've had a Twitter like long ago, but this is a brand new one. There's nothing on it. So if you'd like, just go through there and leave your comments or questions, and I will either save them all up to do another video like this or answer them through there if you'd like to do that. Also, just say thank you to everyone adding me on Instagram. That's really cool. I feel very like, ooh, I got followers. And so people adding me on Facebook, thank you. But Facebook is kind of personal. I have like my family and stuff on there, and just a lot of personal info, so I'm not really adding friends. Plus, I don't know if I'm gonna keep it. I go back and forth with Facebook. I don't really like it. There's a lot of like negative stuff on there that I don't like to see. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. So I'll have my Instagram and Twitter. Well, I feel like those like, I got my Instagram and Twitter linked right here, but I don't actually know how to do that. So I'll put them in the little bottom bar description below if you want to add me or message me or whatever. And any video suggestions I will happily take. Just a little preview to what's to come is the one about just rape and sexual assault in the military, if it's still an issue. I have two friends, a gay friend and a lesbian friend, and I hope to sit them down. They have said okay, and talk about their experience and if it's any different for them being gay and lesbian. I think that would be a really interesting video. And one I really want to put out is how to get in shape for boot camp. I need my husband's help because I kind of messed up my hand. It's a long story. So that one's going to take some finagling because our schedules are kind of jacked up. But that is all coming to you. So if that's something you'd like to see, subscribe, stay tuned. I try my best to get a video up every single week, but like I said, life happens and I'm a little bit lazy. So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.